Hi folks, this is Warbird1066 and today I'm here with the HobbyKing aka Hyped Assault Rafale. I first saw the Rafale a few weeks back on the HobbyKing homepage and I had to say it kind of got to me. I instantly liked the elegant shape of the plane and thought it would be a nice addition to my hangar. And here we are, and the Rafale is sitting on my couch, and I have to say I don't regret buying this plane. It just looks great, on my couch and in the air. Of course there's good and bad, as always, but here the good clearly has the advantage. So let's talk a little bit about the Rafale, the good and the bad part of this model. When you open the box, you instantly like the clean and neat looking fuselage. The foam quality of this bird is really good, among the best of what I've seen so far. No dents, no glue lines or production marks on it. The only problem I had was that the water decals had a lot of bubbles, but the rest of the plane looked very nice. The plane is very easy to assemble. If you had built a plane before, you don't need more than 20 or 30 minutes to put it together. Servos and linkages were already installed, but on my plane the holes were a bit too big for the servo connectors, so I got a lot of play in the ailerons, so I had to drill new holes for the connectors. The only problem was that I couldn't find a manual, because there is none, so I had to search the net for some infos about this plane, like the COG, which is not a good thing if you ask me. I also found out that on my plane the elevator has to be up about 3 mm to achieve neutral position in flight, also something that should be mentioned in the manual. One other problem I have with the Rafale, at least if you got the same version I got, is the color. It looks awesome and totally military-like, but it's damn hard to see in the air. So stay close, or better put something on the wing or on the bottom side to make her out easier in the air. This plane comes with a 64 mm power plant, supplied by a 1300 mA up to a 2200 mA 3S LiPo pack, which gives you enough power to take her up in the air for something between 3 or 6 minutes. Plus a little reserve, of course. I choose to go with the 2200 mA version. The battery compartment is big enough and the right COG is also not that hard to achieve with a bigger pack on the front. And in case some of you guys want to do the same, the sweet spot is about 550 mm from the nose, at least on my plane. With that and the rest of the electronics, the flying weight comes to about 735 grams, which is not that bad for a plane that size. If you go for the 1300 mA LiPo, you can also lose another 90 grams or so, but you also lose a bit of flight time. The EDF drive is not the most powerful one, but strong enough to hand launch her without breaking into sweat. The shape of the fuselage makes it very easy to get a good grip on the hull, so you can give her a good throw for a nice solid start. Here's something you should try. As you can see, I put some pads on the fuselage. It's sandpaper, glued right onto the foam. It makes it much easier to hold her and prevent your fingers from slipping. After she climbed, the overall performance of the plane is quite good. Rolls, loops and such stuff are no problem. She can also fly quite slow for a jet, which comes in handy when it's time to land. I found myself cruising at about 60% throttle and glided her in during the final approach, so no bad habits there. To protect the belly from grass and stuff, I put some tape on the underside of the fuselage, and I also put some yellow tape on the wings to counteract the grey out problem that I mentioned earlier. What I don't like is the open ESC compartment on the belly. The cooling is good, and I know that this plane usually comes with a gear, but if you don't use it, like me, I'm not sure how long this flimsy plastic of the ESC cover will hold if you go on with belly landings. I also found that the ESC is a bit small. My plane put out about 350 watts by roughly 31 amps, which is a bit too much for a 30 amp ESC. A 40 amp wouldn't hurt. And don't get me wrong, I mean I'm complaining about one thing after the other, but the fact is that the Rafale is a good value for your money. You get a good looking, very nice flying and even relatively fast EDF jet that is a lot of fun in the air. So even with a few minor problems I mentioned, it's a good plane. So well done, HobbyKing. So I hope you enjoyed my little video, and if you'd like to know more about the plane, or if you have any questions, just send me a short note. Have fun at the flying field, guys. Forward Fan 66 out.